there everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to yet another video, and it is time for my EFL Championship predictions for the 2022-2023 season. So, 1 to 24, all of them, we'll get straight into it. 24th position, I've gone with Rotherham United. Now Rotherham, obviously, new promoted team from League One. They've lost two key players in Michael Smith and Michael Hakwa, but they've brought in Cam Humphreys and Kyozo, which I think kind of mitigates loss of Hakwa, but they need a striker. They've brought in Bramble and Tom Eves from Hull, but I don't think that's enough. So unfortunately, Rotherham fans, I've got you bottom. In 23rd position, I've gone with Birmingham. A lot of teams have put Birmingham in their relegation zone. Obviously, a lot of moving parts of Birmingham. Lee Bowyer was sacked. John Eustace was brought into the club. And again, a lot of things going on there with the ownership as well. They've brought Blaheta, Sanderson and Ruddy. They've lost the likes of Sunjic, Sanchez, Bella, Chong, Hernandez, Taylor and Pedersen. Will they be able to mitigate the losses of some key players there, and especially Taylor, Hernandez and Chong? And I think they will. So that's why I've got Birmingham to finish second bottom. And in 22nd and occupying the final relegation spot, I've gone with Blackpool. Now, Blackpool had a very impressive season under Neil Critchley last year, the first time in the Championship. They've lost Neil Critchley to Aston Villa's assistant manager role. They've brought in Michael Appleton again. They've signed Lewis Fiorini and Rhys Williams on loan. They've lost James Casey Warden. And we no major losses yet. Obviously, that could change if they lose the likes of Bowler or Anderson. So I feel like Blackpool have got quality in there, but I don't think they'll take on the Michael Appleton, which is why I've got them in 22nd. In 21st, I've got a team again, a League One team, a League One champions in fact, and it is Wigan Athletic. Wigan have signed one player so far, Ryan Nyambe. That's who they signed today, in fact. They've lost Gavin Massey, Kel Watts, Tom Bayliss and Glenn Ray. No real major losses yet. They're going to be heavily reliant on the likes of Will Keane, Charlie Wyke, James McLean, Callum Lang to score the goals and keep Wigan up in the Championship. And I think they will under Liam Richardson, who's a very good manager as well. In 20th place, a team who have been predicted to be in the relegation zone by many. I haven't put them in my relegation zone, but it's Reading. Now, Reading have re-signed Shane Long, signed Jeff Hendrick, Dean Zanis, Tyrese Forner, Joe Lumley and Sam Hutchinson. They've lost a key player in John Swift. They've lost Femi Aziz and Nyland as well. How are they going to mitigate the loss of Swift? I think they're going to be fine, to be honest. They've got Ajari, Zhao, Maite, Hoylett, and they've got Shane Long as well. I think they'll be fine in that attacking area. I think Paul Ince will get that ticking. He did to us back in last season, so I think Reading will be fine and finish 20th in the Championship. In 19th position and the final newly promoted team, I've gone with Sunderland to finish 19th. Obviously, they've signed Leon Desjaku and Jack Clark on permanent deals from loan deals. They've signed Dan Ballard as well, which is an excellent signing. He's a top quality Championship player. They've lost Lee Burge, Aidan McGeely, Will Grigg and Shimajali. Not real massive losses. And I think Alex Neil is a very good manager as well. And I think he'll be able to keep Sunderland in this division. In 18th position, a team I've gone to drop 10 places is Blackburn Rovers. Now, Blackburn have not signed anyone yet as of recording, but they are close to apparently signing Callum Britton from Barnsley. I've seen them dropping this many places purely because of who they've lost. They've lost Darrell Lenihan, Joe Rothwell, Ryan Nyambe, Rida Kadra, Ryan Charles, Ian Pervader, and Diovazio Fuick. They've lost a hell of a lot of players there, and some key players, especially the first ones I named. So, look, they are key players for Blackburn, and I feel like they won't be able to mitigate those losses under John Dal Thompson as well. So a lot of moving parts at Blackburn. So that's why I see them dropping 10 places into 18th. In at 17th, I've got with Cardiff City. Now, Cardiff, obviously, 11 new players in through the door. All of them, I think I've included all of them. Robin Sawyers, Callum O'Dowd, Randy Lamotta, Jack Elnick, Ebu Adams, Romeo, Jamilu Collins, Vontae Deli Campbell, Ryan Alsop, Shea Ojo, and Ollie Tanner. They have lost the likes of Aidan Flint, Marlon Pack, Alex Smithies, Leandro Bacuna, and Phil Volks, but a lot of players in through the door. And I feel like Steve Morrison will need a bit of time just to gel those players together. And I think 17 will be a decent finish for Cardiff in the end. I don't think they'll be in any of a relegation scrap either. In at 16th, I've gone with Preston North End. Preston, obviously, under the management of Ryan Lowe. They've signed Robbie Brady, Ben Woodburn, Freddie Woodman, which is a big signing, Di Cornell. They've lost Tom Barkhusen, Scott Sinclair, Izzy Brown, Paul Huntington, Connor Ripley, Joe Rafferty and Josh Earl. We're not really major losses there. So I feel like they'll be fine. And I think 16th is a quite realistic finish for Preston. In at 15th position, I've gone with Bristol City, my club there, obviously. And I feel like this is, again, a realistic finish for us. We've signed Cal Naismith, Kane Wilson, Stefan Bajic, Mark Sykes, Callum O'Dowda, Casey Palmer, and Robbie Cundy and Taylor Moore left the club. I feel like we'll be stable under Nigel Pearson this season, so I feel us finishing 15th. In at 14th, I've gone with Hull City. Now, Hull's a real wild card here, because Hull can massively improve the quality of their side, or they could, not really click under Shota Alvarado and drop. I feel like they'll be stable. They've signed Ozan Tufan, John Mikel Seri, which is really upgrading their midfield. Elias Said-Manesh is a permanent. Nathan Baxter another year-long loan deal. Tobias Figueiredo and Doju Kancinik have also signed. They've lost two major players in Keane Lewis-Potter and George Honeyman, but I think they'll be fine in terms of coping with those losses, so I think they'll finish 14th. In at 13th position, I've gone with QPR. QPR, obviously, new management now under Michael Beale, who's plucked from Aston Villa's assistant management role. They've signed Tyler Roberts on loan from Leeds. Kenneth Powell has come in from Netherlands, and Jake Clark-Salter has come in as well on a free transfer. They've lost Odebajo, Barbe, Marshall, Austin, Ball, Westwood, Wallace, but I think they'll be fine in terms of mitigating those losses. No big losses there. So I think they should be fine if they keep hold of Chair, Willock and Dykes, to be honest. So I see them finishing 13th. In at 12th and finishing slap bang in the middle of the league, I've gone with Swansea City under Russ Martin. Now, Swansea obviously have plucked MK Dons centre-back Harry Darling. They've got Joe Allen. They've signed Joe Allen. Nathan Wood as well. Fraser Campbell, different team. Flynn Downs has left the club as well. Dander, Smith, Hamer, Bennett, Christian Wolf have also left the football club. I feel like Swansea will progress now under Russ Martin. Last year was a transitional year. This year will now, be a season of progression, and I think they will progress into the top half of the league. A team dropping 8 places from the playoff positions I've got in 11th is Huddersfield Town. Now, Huddersfield have lost 3 key figures in that Championship playoff final run in Lewis O'Brien, Harry Toffolo and Carlos Corberon, and I don't think they'll be able to mitigate those losses big enough to finish in the top 6 again. I think they'll finish 11th, which I think is not a bad result under Danny Schofield. They've signed Conor Mahoney and Will Boyle. They've lost Fraser Campbell, that's the correct team. Fraser Campbell, Jamal Blackman, Brown, Eiting, Vallejo, Pippa, Colwyn and Sinani have both gone back to their parents' club. So I think they'll be fine in terms of mitigating those losses and finishing 11th. Into the top 10 we go, and in 10th I've gone with Stoke City. Against Stoke, I've finished spot on half every time they've been in the Championship since their relegation from the Premier League. I think they will finally be in the top half and finish in 10th this season, to be honest. They've signed Josh Laurent, which is a big signing. Gavin Kilkenny to upgrade their midfield as well, and Clark and Flint have come in those centre-back positions. They've lost Joe Allen, Stephen Fletcher, Benica Phobe, Alfie Doherty, Mario Vrancic, Tommy Smith, Tom Ince, Josh Madja, Romain Soyes, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, Abdallah Seema, Liam Moore and Leo Ostergaard, but I think they'll be fine in terms of mitigating those losses, because there isn't really any players there and you go, wow, massive loss. I think they'll be fine, and I think in fact they'll progress and into the top half. In at 9th, I've gone with Coventry City, and now Coventry have progressed every year under Mark Robbins, and I think they'll progress again this season. They've signed Callum Doyle, Casey Palmer from Bristol City, Jonathan Panzo as well. There were major losses from the football club, so I think Coventry will progress under Mark Robbins, purely because they've got him at the helm, and so far they've not lost Callum O'Hare to Burnley, Victor Gyökeres or Gus Hamer. In at 8th, I've gone with Luton Town, and under Nathan Jones again. Most of it has been progression. They've signed Carlton Morris, Luke Freeman, Ethan Horvath, Corey Woodrow, Matt Macy, Louis Watson and Alfie Doherty this season. They've lost one key player in Cal Naismith, but not any other massive losses in there. So I think even though they dropped 2 places from the playoffs, I think they'll be quite content with a 8th place finish. In at 7th and actually progressing and actually, upgrading their finish in the league is Millwall, and they've got them finishing 7th and just outside the top 6. They've signed Charlie Cresswell on loan from Leeds, same as James Shackleton. They've signed Zian Fleming from Fortuna Sittard. They signed George Honeyman from Hull, and they've signed Benik Afobe on a permanent deal as well. They've lost Dan Ballard, which is again a key centre-back last season, and Jed Wallace, who's just a brilliant player for Millwall, and I think they'll be fine because they've signed the likes of Honeyman, Afobe and Fleming to mitigate the loss of Jed Wallace, so I think they'll improve under Gary Rowett into 7th. In at 6th, I've gone with Chris Wilder's Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough signed Roberts, Giles and Lenihan. Lenihan's a big signing, and I like imagine him alongside Delphi and Paddy McNair. It's a brilliant back three, isn't it? Dyke still won't even get into the team. They've not really lost anyone absolutely crucial to them. They've lost Peltier Sporar and Martin Payero. Not really major losses apart from that, and I think they'll progress into the top 6, and just because Chris Wilder's a fantastic manager, and I feel like he'll improve them. In at 5th, I've gone with West Brom under Steve Bruce. Obviously, they've signed John Swift, Jed Wallace, Yokai Kuslu and Jason Malumbi, all on permanent deals, which is a ridiculous transfer window, and I feel like they will progress. They've lost Sam Johnson, obviously, on a permanent deal to Crystal Palace, but that was always expected with his contract expiring, and I feel like they will now progress, even with Johnson's loss, because they have got Button, who's a capable championship keeper. In at 4th, I've gone with Sheffield United. Obviously, Sheffield United finished 5th last season in the Championship. They've signed Kieran Clark, Amel Ahmedovic and Tommy Doyle, so not addressed the attacking area so far, which is a bit of a problem from the last season, actually. Only real key losses are Filip Jovanovic and Morgan Gibbs-White, which is a massive loss because he's a key attacking part of their system last year. But I think Heckingbottom should be fine in getting that team into the top 6. In at 3rd and missing out on the top 2 is Burnley in my predictions. They've signed Josh Collins, Samuel Bastian, Scott Twine, Taylor Harwood, Bella, CJ Egan Riley and Luke McNally. A lot of good players there, but they've lost likes of Collins, Veghorst, Tarkovsky and Pope, and Hennessy, so a few key losses there. I feel like won't be able to mitigate those factors straight away, those huge losses straight away under Vincent Kompany. I think they'll be fine though in terms of pushing for the automatic role, and they've got some very good championship players in there who are more than capable of this division. In at 2nd, I've gone with the Hornet Watford. Now Watford have got Rob Edwards as their manager. Obviously Hodgson finished last season in the Premier League, which was a dreadful finish, and now they've got Rob Edwards from Forest Green. They've signed Bayo from Racing Sport Charleroi, and they signed Ray Minaj from Barcelona as well. They've lost the likes of King, Hernandez, Sissoko, Zinkanaga, Foster, Nkulu, Kuchka and Etebo, which are pretty decent calibre player losses, so I think they'll be finishing 2nd instead of 1st. I'm sure Watford fans will take that, to be honest. And this is probably the easiest choice of the video, and it was Norwich to finish top. I mean, they've just got a ridiculous squad. They've got Timu Pukki, they've got Dean Smith, they've brought in Isaac Kane, they've brought in Gabriel Sara. They've not really lost anyone key to them either, so I think they'll be absolutely correct. I think they'll be absolutely fine, and to be honest, I think they'll win the league quite comfortably. Those are my championship predictions for the 2022-2023 season. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the EFL Championship channel for more Bristol City content, and also Championship Premier League, all sort of content, football content in general, to be honest. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Keep safe, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.